Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Live from Sunset Gower Studios, The Amazing Hour with Joanne O'Brien and Sabrina Johnson.
There's a power here within me. There's a strength that's deep inside. If I'm willing to be willing, the field is open wide. And I know I have the courage, so I push my fears aside and allow these words of truth be heard from every mountain high. I am amazing, I am amazing. There's nothing I can't do. I am amazing, I am amazing. And you're amazing too. We share a vision, we share a dream. Are you ready? Slow and steady, we are making history. 'Cause we are amazing.
Wow. Welcome everyone to our 16th episode of The Amazing Hour, live at Sunset Gower Studios at the UBN Radio Network. We are delighted. We have such a great show tonight. Lots of really good new stuff. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Sabrina Johnson.
And before we visit with you,
We just have to share with you a bit before the best news that we have right now. We have a brand new, incredible sponsor for our show.
yes, we do. We have a great sponsor. And so our show this evening is sponsored by Vaughn Saroyans. Vaughn is the top 1% producer internationally for Coldwell Banker. He specializes in both residential and commercial properties. And in addition to being a broker, Vaughn is a real estate attorney and has been the number one broker in his office for the past 4 years. And on top of that, yes, exactly, right? And on top of all that, we love Vaughn. So we're very excited. He's so successful. He's just a totally super nice guy. So grab your pens and write this information down. You can reach Vaughn at area code 323-497-6655. That's 323-497-6655. Or you can send him an email at saroyans@aol.com. And that is Saroyans, S as in Sam, AROIAN as in Nancy, S at AOL.com. So thank you, Vaughn Saroyans. Thank you, Coldwell Banker, for taking a chance on our show. Y'all could just be sitting in a brand new house if you would pick up the phone and call Vaughn. So, well, very excited about that. What else? Where are we now, Sabrina? So we've got a new sponsor,
Yes.
which would be the
One
amazing
that-
highlight
that's
for both
the
of us.
amazing highlight of a long time.
For a really long time.
For
So,
a very long time. That's an amazing highlight.
so what's your
and-
personal?
My personal highlight, I was thinking about, there's been so many. It's always so much fun to choose. But as you know, I talk about belonging to this cooking
Yes.
group. And we decided that we were going to go out to eat on Sunday instead of cook. So and these are real serious foodies. I enjoy food, but I'm not exactly up on the best restaurants. So we were looking at different things online, and I said, well, why don't we go to the Ladies Gunboat Society? I love the name. So they were going.
Wait, gumbo?
Gunboat.
Gunboat.
Like,
Okay, gunboat.
In the Civil War, ladies in Louisiana, there was a reserve of ladies that would do the gunboats off the coast when they ran out of men. To do
Okay.
it. So it's called the Ladies Gunboat Society.
Okay.
And it is in Satel, in the middle of Japanese town on Satel. And it's Southern food. And I said, I just like the name. And they said yes. And then when we got there, and it was absolutely so much fun and so enjoyable and so good, all the women said, you know, we were kind of thinking, is this how a foodie chooses a restaurant, by the name? And they said, but it turned out to be so great that it was just like one of those wonderful things where, again, just my intuition just made it for an amazing, fun time and great food. And it was just wonderful. But I just laughed because it was like, okay, the foodies chooses by the name. I said, I just love the name, Ladies Gunboat Society.
Ladies
so
Gunboat
go
Society.
There.
Okay.
You have to kind of, it's hard to get reservations right now, but it's fun. It's one of those trendy restaurants. It's fun. And yours, Joanne?
Oh, God. I had a great week. I had a really great week. So I worked a private event in San Diego this past week, and I got to meet some really cool people. First, I got to hear Barney Frank speak. I didn't actually meet him. And I got to hear Captain Phillips speak.
The Captain Phillips.
The Captain Phillips. And all I can tell you is Tom Hanks rocks. He had him down to a T. The minute he opened his mouth, I was like, oh, Tom Hanks is brilliant. We already know that he's brilliant, but it was an incredible performance. So I got to hear him speak. But my biggest exciting highlight was that I got to hear and meet Hillary Rodham Clinton. So that was super exciting. Yeah, there's a picture of us.
There's proof.
Yes, there's proof. There's a picture of me. And we talk. And my brother actually worked with her. And so I said that to her. I said, my brother worked with you, and they worked very closely. And she absolutely remembered who he was. And if that is not, in fact, true, then she is quite a fine actress as well. So that's my big, huge highlight of the week. And I know we're dying to get to our guests, but I have two things I want to make sure I talk about. Two important things. Okay, so tomorrow night, if you are local and you live here in Los Angeles, I do a meditation service that I've been doing for 6 years now. Is it 6? It's 6 years. And this is our 6-year anniversary. So it is tomorrow evening at 6161 Whitsett Avenue in North Hollywood. That is between Oxnard and Victory at Irwin. It's a 6:45. We start a beautiful Tibetan bowl meditation. And then the service starts at 7, and there's group singing, group singing and meditation, and then reflection on inspired readings. So
it's beautiful.
So that I'm very excited about. We'll have a really, and then we always have this potluck afterwards. So there will be pie. There will be pie. And then on Friday, now I don't want to mess this one up, so I'm going to read this to you. On Friday night, same location, we are hosting a screening of The Letters. And The Letters is a drama that explores, it's a film, a drama that explores the life of Mother Teresa through the letters she wrote to her longtime friend and spiritual advisor, Father Celeste von, I don't know how to say this, is it Exem? Exem. I wasn't really sure, so we'll find out on Friday night. Yeah. And she wrote these over a period of 50 years. And so the film starts at 7:30. Tickets are $10, and there's going to be a Q&A afterwards with the producer.
And this was what was featured in Time magazine when it first came out as a book, and this is what's adapted from
Yes, it was a book first, and there was a lot of got a lot of attention, and now it's a film. So, God, a lot of great stuff, right?
Yes,
Sponsors, the future president of the United States. Okay, take that back.
It's not you, but
I take that back because we are not a political show, and so I don't want anyone getting mad at me for expressing my political beliefs.
Well, you met her. So.
Well, I met her, and you know what? She was having a great hair day.
Yeah, she was.
So, and you know what? If she was a little funnier, I could play her in her life story.
You could.
Yeah, but she's got a good sense of humor for sure. But I think that I probably wouldn't be one of the top persons to play her. That would be interesting. Anyway, enough about that.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. We're so excited.
So we're going to introduce our wonderful guest. Our guest is Anthony Flynn, who is the founder of YouBars, which he'll tell you all about, which are customized nutrition bars.
I've already eaten halfway through one.
We have a lot of samples here, and he's also the author of a book called Custom Nation. I don't know if we have the JPEG for it, but Custom Nation. And he wrote this with Emily Flynn Venkant, is that how you say it? And this is all about customizing is really the way that things are going to be going. Anthony does lectures at, I think it was MIT, all over about this this new way of doing business, which is really customizing, that he has done very successfully with YouBars. And he is...
He's here.
He's here, and we're just so excited. Anthony Flynn, yay!
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Yippee! We're so excited. We love it that we know people that are sitting in front of us that have actually accomplished finishing a book. Because both of us are eternally writing books, so it hasn't quite happened for us. But it will. It will, it will, it will. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So we have lots of things we want to ask you, but we know your story, but our listeners do not know how YouBar came about, and we think it's a great story. So would you first tell everybody how it? I'm sure you're sick to death of telling the story, but we've got a whole new audience for you.
And now we understand the story because we had a branding person, and this is your branding story.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
great.
We understand
And I'm going
this
to eat
now.
while you are telling us your
love
story.
it.
What are you eating while he's
Okay,
before?
Okay, I'm eating the peanut butter apple one. Look at this is ripped. It's so terrible. I'm eating the peanut butter apple one, and it is a tasty treat for
And
all
Anthony
to enjoy.
will talk more about
Great.
it, but okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank
You're
you so
up.
much for having me.
Thank
It's
you.
such a pleasure to be here, and I have to say the energy here is just amazing. It's just I like it already. So yeah, I'm the founder of and CEO of YouBar, which is a custom energy bar company. You can check us out at youbars.com. That's youbars.com. And what we did is we created a website that allows people to create their own energy bars. So it walks people through a very simple step-by-step process where they can choose the ingredients that they want in their bar, and more importantly, not have the ingredients they don't want in their bar. And they get to put their name on the bar, and we make it fresh and delivered to your doorstep.
And it's so good.
So while they're building a bar, like I went on there yesterday and I was looking at a bar. So for instance, well, I think it's very interesting. Chocolate is considered a seasoning.
Yes.
So, but you would be you start with something like you say it'd be
It's
smoother.
a main protein for me.
Yeah, you said it'd be smoother if it had like a butter. So you say like almond butter, a nut butter.
Exactly.
Or so you suggest a nut butter, and then when you choose that, already you have the calorie content onto the side and the nutritional content, the fat, the fiber. And then you say, now, do you want to add additional protein? So I wanted to add egg white. So already there it has the additional nutritional information, the calories. And then it said, do you want to add sweetener, which I thought was very interesting because you have a variety of sweeteners. And they're natural, and some of them are very low calorie. And so you add that, and you can see that. And then you can add if you want more nuts or fruit or not. And it really is it is amazing because then you come up with a bar that's anywhere, it seems like from 150 calories to 210 calories, but it has everything in it that you want and everything that works for your body and for you.
Exactly. It started from my mom and I started this together, and we have a very sensitive stomach. We were just tired of going to the supermarket and seeing a bunch of bars, and we'd look at them at first and we'd be like, oh, this looks really delicious. But then we'd see an ingredient number 5 is high fructose corn syrup, or certain preservatives that we just didn't want in our bodies. So just out of that frustration of not being able to find what we can have on the shelves, we started making our own. And that was really the kind of the genesis of the business.
If there was an ingredient that you had somebody request that you don't agree with, do you say no? We don't put that in our bars. Are there certain things that you say no? That's not within integrity of our line.
Yes, actually, we've kind of run into that a few times. Most of the time, when people suggest something, it's usually like the latest superfood. So we're actually very thankful for hearing this. We heard about acai very early on, goji berries, maca powder. Very early on, we were able to add that to our website. But there are certain ingredients that just don't fit with our core values, and those are certain ones like anything with sulfur dioxide. We just do not want that in the.
What
dried.
is sulfur dioxide?
It is just a nasty preservative. If you ever see dried fruit and it still looks like a beautiful color after it's been dried, there's sulfur dioxide in it. And
Okay, so what would be a good preservative? Because you have to have a preservative in it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
what we work with is using dried fruits that are naturally dried. So if you get rid of the water activity and utilize the dried fruits, the nuts, it actually naturally gives it a long shelf life.
Oh,
so
neat.
So preservatives are really not that necessary unless you're trying to get a 1 year or a 15-month shelf life, and that's when you get into the whole real chemicals aspect
Sure.
to it.
So to go back to your story that you have sensitive stomachs, I love the story.
I love the story. It's a great story.
So we had sensitive stomachs. So we've been making bars for a long time, And it was actually on the way to my mom and I were teaching snowboarding.
And you were making your
That's so
bars.
cool
and
that your mom teaches snowboarding. She was a hippie, right?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because my mom's not teaching snowboarding.
And so you were making these in your own kitchens.
Yes.
Like you were just making this at home.
Making it at home.
Just for yourselves.
Yeah, we put it in little Ziploc baggies, or sometimes we would seal it with a wax paper and an iron, and just kind of seal the edges. It was very, very
You've
basic.
come a long way.
Oh yes, oh yes. I look at some of our original packaging, and I'm a little embarrassed.
Do you have like a little on the wall the history of packaging and your
yes.
packaging evolution?
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah, and it's very fun to see, and every time I get frustrated with the business or just in life, I look at that wall and I'm like, oh, we've come a long way. So it's nice. It's nice to have those reminders. Somebody actually told me recently. They said, as a founder of a business, if you're not embarrassed about the first renditions, the first products you came up with, then you started it too late. You held off on actually getting that first product out. And it was really nice. Those first products that we came out with, we had amazing customers that came to us and would tell us what they want. These were people that around the country, around the world, that shared that same passion for what ingredients to have in a bar and the frustration that we had about, seeing not the right bars on the shelves. So they were very helpful in helping us create this business.
It's kind of fun. Don't you actually like it even better because you're looking at the person who created it?
Yes.
It's really fun to see a face with it's like, oh, okay, so I even like it better now because I know you're a real person and you're not some
corporation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but to get back to this, because I just love this whole
Yeah.
story that you were doing this in families and
And
friends.
this was like in 2006, right?
Yeah, 2006.
And family and friends were asking you then after a while to make some for you.
Exactly.
Make some for them.
Exactly. So they
them.
would say, oh, this is really good, but would you make mine with no coconut or a certain type of egg white protein or, and just modifying it that way. So it was around that time I was in the market for a new computer. So I went to Dell's website, and they had a customize your own computer, a very simple step-by-step process where you can choose the speed of the computer and all that. And I thought, why can't we do that for a nutrition bar? So I took some basic courses at LA City College on how to program and built the very first rendition, very, very simple site that allowed people to choose step-by-step the ingredients. And that was really the launch of the business.
See, that's such patience because I would have that idea. I would go home, stare at my computer, feel completely inadequate, and not even think to go to YouTube to look for a video on how to do it, and I would quit. So stick to singing, Joanne. Yeah.
And writing songs.
And you went to LA City College and figured it out and then came back and did your due diligence, and now you are one leg up on needing to hire. So I'm sure you've hired someone by now. But
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, because
It's very intricate.
I
Yeah.
learned just enough to know that I need somebody else to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
It's very
But
intricate.
I can talk that language, or at least a little bit, to the programmer, which is a nice thing to have.
Well, one of the things is that, and then 6 years later, so 2006 you started YouBar, and then 6 years later you came out with the book, which
Yeah.
is so great. You came
Yeah.
out with the book. So in the book you do talk about Dell, you talk about lots of things that we know as being customized, but one of the things you talk about is that connection that people have to having this personalized, because this would probably have like for instance, could we have like an amazing hour bar with our logo?
Well, that's actually the biggest part of our business now.
Okay.
Is actually when we first started, what we started seeing were nutritionists, personal trainers creating their own bars and then selling them to their customers, whether it be people getting personal training sessions or clients of them. So they would say, hey, is it possible that we can get better packaging so that we can reflect our brand? And we said, absolutely. So that's actually the biggest area we are in now, is that we're a manufacturer for all sorts of businesses, from clients ordering as small as 100 bars to clients ordering the hundreds of thousands of bars.
So like those might be like celebrity diet doctors
Exactly.
or celebrity nutritionists that you,
Exactly.
of course, have confidential agreements with, but that's a big part of your business.
Yeah.
So, but part of that is like when Joanne said it's so great to see this and then know the person, but that's also part of the lure of customization is you see it and you know that you are involved in it, so you know the person that customized it.
Yeah, what we've seen
That
with
emotional connection.
with customization just across all industries and seeing the rise of that and how the internet has really facilitated that, you see a different feeling towards a product where an item like a nutrition bar would have never even been thought to been given as a gift. But now you can personalize it, add a custom name, a message on it, and be able to choose the ingredients that that recipient, love. So it's the healthier, Valentine's Day gift. If it's a care package for somebody who's sick, so you can do that for somebody else, but you can also even do that for yourself. So you really take ownership of a product, which is you're starting to see that more and more in the way business is done.
Well, I was really fascinated reading Custom Nation, and I am not a business reader, but I was really even with all the graphs and charts and everything. And what fascinated me was when you talk about how, first of all, whether or not we're aware of it, customizing is so much a part of our lives. And I guess because I knew you were coming on the show, my ears were more attuned to that. So someone was talking about a Coke commercial with the customized Coke cans. And this was like a new thing. And I thought, this has come out like 2 years, this book has been out 2 years, but you already saw that this would be a very important thing.
I remember when the M&Ms, when they were doing it like at weddings.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, how did they, and it was amazing.
Yeah. But they customize
M&Ms. And you can see it on there. Like
yeah.
now anybody can do it. But then it was, like, when it first came out, it was like,
Truly.
It was like the Walkman.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Walkman? I remember the Walkman. I still have my Walkman.
It is revolutionary. But one thing is that I was reading the book and then I didn't quite finish. And I was looking online for some things that you have online, and I listened to the MIT talk, and it was like so clear. An excerpt of your talk at MIT when you said, "Why is this a green way to do business?" And you really pointed out two things that kind of like startled me. One is that you don't have much waste because people get specifically what they want, so they're not going to throw it away. And the other thing is there's no outsourcing.
Yeah. Everything's made locally. That's what's nice about customization, is that all of the major customization companies are located in the United States, because shipping is such a factor that it can't be made in China and then shipped individually across seas. So you're seeing companies like Zazzle based out of California, companies like Shutterfly, Vistaprint, all based in the U.S.
So 2006 you started this, and here we are in 2014. Went back when you first started, did you have a vision for where you would be today?
I did. It's very different than where I am today. My vision was, and my mom's vision. We had a shared vision of, a certain size of a company. We had our favorite clients who came in, and it was when we first started. We had about 750 square feet in West Los Angeles, a small little kitchen, very boutique feel. And now we're a much bigger facility.
And you rented that out, right?
We rented that out, yeah.
Okay.
So now we're in a much bigger facility and have gone into a whole different area of the market, which is more of the manufacturing, not only for individuals, but for small businesses as well.
So here we are in 2014. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years as a business?
We've been taking on just amazing new customers in all sorts of different areas, all sorts of different specialties, and they've been very vocal in what they're looking for to help their businesses and help to have their message spread. So we've been working on developing new product lines for them. We've been working on developing more of a full service for them. So not only do we help customers with the nutrition bars and designing and formulating and creating the packaging for them, but we're also helping them with dropship fulfillment. We're helping them develop their own websites, so allowing people to actually create their own businesses.
So you have like a whole bigger package for what you offer. Do you have someone in your business or your company that deals with branding and creates branding? Yeah,
we have multiple
really
people
smart.
in-house full-time who are graphic artists, website developers, the whole package. And we use companies like Vistaprint to help them create business cards, brochures, other things to help their business grow.
So it's really exploding.
Yeah, it is.
It's exploding. And it sounds like something that you really had no idea how much it would grow, and yet at the same time, you're growing with it in a way that feels comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's out of control.
Yeah.
And you have how many employees now?
About 35 now.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
And you said that they're all hand selected, like they're either family or friends from college, people that really have an investment in because they understand the business and they have a passion for it as much as you do.
Exactly. That's we really try to focus on seeing who do they match our corporate culture? Do they believe in the product? I mean, that's ultimately what we're looking for.
Sure.
But do we like hanging out with them? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. You spend as many hours as we spend in the office. It's if you don't like the person sitting next to you. Now, you may disagree with them on certain things, and that's healthy.
Right.
But you have to fundamentally, it's all optimistic people in the office.
I agree.
And it's really nice.
Yay.
Did you learn that in business school?
Not somewhat in business school, but
Because you graduated from business at
Yeah.
USC, and I'm just curious because I've learned that working in the legal world that about 20 years ago there were these major law firms that exploded because the partners didn't like each other.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's very important that people like each other when
You
they work
gotta
so
like
closely.
each other.
So true. It's so true.
I was just wondering if you
We've
learned that.
we think we learned it just from every day we've had some experiences where people we didn't get along with as well, and it made the day feel even longer. so we said, okay, let's keep it to a good group of people.
Sure.
And it's been just fantastic.
Well, one thing that I really enjoyed when we talked to you was Joanne asked what your philosophy was about business and life. And I love how you stress balance. And one thing, just looking at the notes today, you said not only a balance like having people that are fun to work with, enjoy the product, and they take care of themselves, like you are very big on CrossFitness, and so you do this together. But also, what I thought was very interesting, when you said when you have a balanced business, you have a balanced product.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think it's incredibly important to just have a balanced life in general.
Yeah.
And that is business, is in health, in working out, in friendships, relationships of all sorts. And when you have that, it just makes the whole process very enjoyable.
Well, one of the things that we do to balance our show is around 7:25, 7:30, we have a show giveaway. Now, we forgot to ask you this. Did you tell him later on? Did you send him an email? Oh, so you have a question, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, goody gumdrops. This is great. I just said goody gumdrops on the air. I don't know where that came from.
gumdrops.
Goody gumdrops. Okay, there you go. So, can you thank you, Kurt? Okay, so if you're not looking at the screen and you're listening, you want to call in, write this number down, 323-843-2826. That's 323-843-2826. You would think I'd have it memorized by now, but I don't. So write that number down, and Anthony is going to give us a question, and it's time for you all to call in and win, and then we'll do some other fun stuff. So what's your question for our listener today?
So the question is
Get by a computer.
right now Coca-Cola offers 20 different types of Coca-Cola. So Diet Coke, Vanilla Coke,
Coke
Diet
Zero,
Coke,
right.
Coke Zero. In 1982, how many did they have?
1982. How many
That's
do
a
they have?
great
Okay, so and what you're gonna win is a copy of Custom Nation,
Which is great reading.
and if you actually do get the question right, we'll send you a bar too, because we've been known to give away
Actually,
gifts
more than a few bars.
just
Yeah,
for people calling in. Do we have anyone in the chat room? Oh, we do. Yay. All right, good. So we
so
know
while-
someone going to call in a minute, and while we're waiting for them to call in, go for it.
While we're waiting for them to call in, we're going to ask Anthony our question of the show, which is if every time you walked into a room, a theme song played, what would that be?
That's a great question. I love Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger.
It's a great song.
That's a great
All
song.
right,
So
wow.
We love that song too.
Oh, we don't have it? It
We don't
disappeared?
have it.
Oh, here we go.
Here it
Oh, okay.
goes. Okay.
So you're walking in.
I have a feeling you CrossFit to this, right?
Oh, yes.
I have a
That
feeling.
is
I was
great.
listening to it. I said, this is a CrossFit song.
All right. Well, first of all, you don't even need to hear "Eye of the Tiger." If you just walk through the door, and it's almost like it's a little scary, like you're waiting for someone to attack you. Well, it's Sabrina's song is Hallelujah,
I
hallelujah.
think that might change. I think that just
I know
changes
we
all
should
the
change,
time.
but I'm
It just
still the
changes.
Mary
You're
Tyler
still-
Moore theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do make people smile.
That's
So-
my
and
theme
what
song.
makes me smile is our sponsor, which we want to
Oh
remind
yes,
you
we
about.
want to remind you about our sponsor.
And our sponsor, Von Soroyans. That's right. And so if you joined the show late, let me just tell you a little bit about Von. He is a top 1% producer internationally for Coldwell Banker, specializing in both residential and commercial properties. And in addition to being a broker, Vaughn is a real estate attorney and has been the #1 broker in his office for the last 4 years. And on top of that, Vaughn really is a super nice guy. He
We
really,
love him.
really is. We wouldn't have anybody but the nicest sponsor.
Oh
if he
yeah.
was.
Yep.
And
There
you
are
can-
people clamoring to sponsor
There
the show,
are.
and we don't
We-
like them. So
And we only chose Vaughn because he is the nicest, and thank goodness he chose us too. So Vaughn can be reached at area code 323-497-6655. That's 323-497-6655, or at Soroyans@aol.com, and that's SAROIANS@AOL.com. So please contact Vaughn for all of your real estate needs and tell him that the Amazing Hour sent him.
yes. And you can we're promoting him on Facebook and Twitter. So if you follow us, anything that you hear on the show, you're going to see it on our Facebook page. You're going to see it on our website when the web designer gets to putting it up there, which she promises that she'll do later on tonight, Vaughn.
The web-
Because that would be me. And so you can follow us, and you could go to youtube.com/The Amazing Hour, and that way you can see shows that you may have missed. So
That said, talking about amazing sponsors and amazing people, I think we just want to take a second to read a little bit of fan mail.
oh yeah, we got
Because-
some fan
yes.
mail for the show.
We get lots of fan mail, and
Go,
I really
yay.
and I realize that I haven't saved so much, but we have a lot of fan mail. And one was we got one from last week. Someone said, and just to answer, because they said, I love what I saw of your show and would like to see the half hour I missed. Where can I watch it? Will the show be available tonight? So just to let you know, the shows usually come up a day or two later.
A day or two later.
And you can go on to, as Joanne said, youtube.com, The Amazing Hour, and you can see all our past shows, or at www.theamazinghourradioshow.com. So you can go both places for past shows. But then to continue this letter, someone said, she wrote, thanks for having this particular guest today. And that was Kim Downey, who had the Infinite Smile Project about teaching kids kindness. She wrote, I was bullied in school, and I'm so glad someone is dealing with the issue proactively. Yay.
Isn't that nice?
What a really great radio show you have. You were then somebody else wrote, what a really great radio show. You were absolutely amazing. So glad I heard it. I feel so happy. Thank you.
Aw.
And then somebody else wrote, I spent the last 4 hours listening to The Amazing Hour. I just want to say thank you. I am not only inspired, I am also empowered to create the life I want to live. More than one of your guests so far have talked about doing the things that fill your heart and feed your soul. I recognize that I was doing that for other people and not so much for myself. So far, each guest has said something I really wanted to hear, or perhaps as your guest Eddie Connor put it, I, in all caps, wanted to hear. You ladies rock. So that's just a few.
That is great.
We've had a lot. And
I
we
love
just
it.
get
That's
this
just a few.
wonderful-
So
wonderful response.
well,
and-
good. Hey, is anybody out there? Are you guys looking it up on Google? Is that what it is? Because I know there's people in that chat room. You're afraid to call. Even if you get it wrong, just call in. Okay? Would you
Yes.
just call in and ask us a
Yes.
question?
Just say hi.
My goodness.
Just say
All right. So while people are clamoring on Google trying to figure out the answer to that question, so where are we now? So
So you talk about the customization of this, how you did this, and how you have created not only a customized YouBar, you've created a customized company culture.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
which is really great.
well, also, so this book though, one of the other things I wanted to mention because we didn't talk about it is that you wrote it with your sister.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about your sister.
So my sister's an amazing writer. She wrote for Newsweek for many years, then Associated Press, and then luckily she had 3 kids. So took some time off from writing there, and I was able to snatch her up and help me write a book.
Joanne?
Oh, we got someone on the call. Okay. Yay. All right. Who's there?
Hi, it's Mel.
Hey, Mel.
Hi.
Yay. So we've got Marielle calling in from Denver.
Hi, Marielle. Marielle,
Hi.
which YouBar do you want? And I'll try it for you. We have
We've-
chocolate, we have vanilla coconut, we have peanut butter. Which one do you want? And I'll try it, and then I'll send it to you.
Oh, peanut butter.
Oh, we already
Sounds
tried.
good.
It's
Okay,
really
pick another
good.
one because we already ate that
It
one.
was really good.
Vanilla
Oh.
almond, chocolate, or cocoa coconut?
Ooh. Oh, anyone. I don't care. They
Or
all
vanilla
sound good.
coconut?
Okay, well, I'll try the vanilla coconut, and I'll let you know how that is.
Okay,
do you have
so-
the answer?
Do you have the answer?
Well, I believe it's 2. They had 2 in 1986.
You won!
You won. You won.
Get,
You
you get a
won.
book, and let's see. Let me see if you
We'll
want.
we'll send you a book and we'll send
let
you
me see
some
if you want
goodies.
this bar.
Pardon
you
me?
want that bar?
You do want this
Yes,
bar.
you want
We'll
this
send you
bar.
this flavor. All
Okay,
right.
so what's in
Yay.
this bar that she's gonna get?
This bar has some
Vanilla coconut.
Yeah, so
it's
it has
really
God,
good.
it's
like
so
it's
good.
amazing.
some dates, some organic cashew butter, some coconut, some vanilla extract, and some agave.
Oh, this is a
Wow.
really, really
Ooh.
good bar.
Really nice.
So you'll get that.
Sounds amazing.
We'll give you a fresh one. We won't give
We
you this
won't give
one.
you this one. We'll give you a fresh one. If we
Thank
have one.
you.
If we don't have one, that's fine. We'll get another. So Mel, do you have a question? Do you have anything you want to ask Anthony?
Yeah, I just want to know. So anybody can go on your site and make their own bar. And how is there a
Minimum.
a limit, like a small limit, or what's that called?
A
You know what I'm
minimum.
saying.
Minimum, yeah, it's just a
Yes,
half a box,
minimum.
so 6 bars. 6 bars you can get. It's only and
Wow.
and it'll be made within a couple days.
And you can put your name
Well,
on it or
that's
whatever you
incredible.
want. Yeah, you can put your name on it.
I never knew about
anything.
this, so this is amazing.
Oh, nice.
And we're
Thank
very
you.
excited. Well, Marielle and I have done triathlons in the past, so we
Oh,
know a
wow.
lot of people who like to make their own stuff and be healthy.
Nice.
We don't actually do triathlons anymore. That was in the old days, but it was before YouBar
And I have
was
a
even
sensitive
birthed.
tummy as well, so that's
Yeah.
good to know.
So
Perfect.
cool. All right, I can't wait to
Marielle.
send these to you.
Thank you.
Good.
All right.
Hi, Marielle.
Thank you.
Appreciate
2. So just 2. They had Coke and Diet Coke.
Diet Coke just came out in 1982. Prior to that, it was just Coca-Cola. Since
How quickly a nation has become addicted
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, and also
to
when you,
something new.
but the choice, like when you talk about in the book, how in your grandfather's day, your grandfather, whose father had a grocery store,
Grocery store, yeah.
that there were 700 products.
700 products in
That they
in
could
the
choose from.
20s.
Okay, now today
In the 20s,
In the
right.
20s.
And bread was a nickel, a loaf.
Yeah.
Yes.
and then today his great grandson could go into a store and
About 48,000 items in a supermarket
Yeah.
now. So it's really shifted dramatically in just the amount of choice. I mean, if you look at the aisles and you go to the toothpaste section, you'll just see a wall of items there. All various changes of slight modifications of that brand or multiple brands. Same with spaghetti sauce. You'll see just a massive amount of different
So,
items.
if somebody were deciding to embark on one of these ventures of customizing something to offer and branding themselves, what might you say if you were counseling them or coaching them in perhaps saying, if this is why you want to do it, don't do it. If this is why you do want to do it, do it. Like how would you steer someone so that they were clear on why they were getting in it? Because this is a long haul project. This isn't something that you look at and think in a year I'm going to be successful. This is a significant commitment because there's
Definitely,
going to be a
yeah.
lot of trial and error.
Yeah, so I would say the very first thing is whatever you start a business in, you are going to be reading those magazines, you are going to be going to those trade shows. So make sure whatever it is, you are truly just passionate about that product, that industry, because you will just be in it all the time. So it makes it that much more fun if you're just already a huge fan.
and you really speak from experience because you went to USC on the track for real estate.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and that didn't seem to be as passionate for it. You didn't have as much a passion for
No,
it.
no. But in just a sheer coincidence of a passion of food, and I have to say I love being in the food industry. I mean,
Right. That's what you were saying on the phone.
nicest
That's kind of
people.
like your philosophy. I love doing what I do.
Yeah,
And you said a real camaraderie.
real camaraderie and
it ties in with your passion for nutrition and health,
yeah.
and fitness. So it's like everything that you could think of is in this.
It really does fit it all. It's so nice to be in this industry. And
I did not ask you this, and I didn't even think about this. What about the idea of organic and certified organic?
for that, it's it's certain ingredients. My philosophy, at least, is certain ingredients should be organic. Certain things aren't necessarily exposed to a lot of pesticides. So if it has a very thick shell around it, if it's from a tropical climate, most likely you don't need it to be organic. But if you're looking at like a thin-skinned, fruit, I would suggest organic.
Okay. So are any of your bars 100% organic?
So some of our bars are 100% organic. We're not a certified organic facility.
Sure.
But we use organic ingredients. And that's what it says. So on the Build-A-Bar page, you can actually see all of the ingredients.
I don't even necessarily believe that everything that says it's certified organic is really
Right.
certified organic. I'm just not a believer. But anyway.
Well, as we learned from our guest Elliot Kuhn, who is the
last week, we had a guy,
gardener.
the urban gardener from Reedley Street Farms.
Yeah, and he said that he can't be certified organic because he uses some of the waste from his local Thai food restaurant, and they can't certify it. So so it's interesting to have that. One thing that I wanted to ask you about was when we asked you. When we talked to you before, we asked you, said, did you have any challenges or any, and you really seemed to have you didn't seem to find anything to be where it was just so, where you really.
Like it was an obstacle.
Like it was an obstacle. It was more like you kept calling it a real learning. And you really have this attitude about no regrets, just no obstacles, just continue learning. And it seems like your best classroom is your clients.
Yes, it really is. We take the philosophy very similar to Zappos, which is about customer service, and it made it so much easier to run a business and to grow a business that way, where you are just thankful for customers letting you know if there's a problem, and a lot of our customers let us know just there's no problem, that they love what they get. So in those situations, to say, okay, if there was a whatever the problem could be, to really learn from that and to say, okay, let's open up this area and say, okay, what could we do to make this better? So it allows us to first off take that and make a lifelong customer out of a customer lets us know that, because they truly do care about whatever went wrong.
And you've developed a relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's
relationships are everything.
And it's so easy on my staff to then say, hey, if somebody calls up, it's just so funny when people call up and they get somebody to pick up the phone and says hello. That's located in Los Angeles. It's not
someone answers the phone, right?
There's not even press 1 for sales. No, it's just pick up, and as though you're calling my house, you will get a person picking up and say, oh yeah, oh thank you for letting me know that. And they're authorized to do all sorts of things, without having to run it by me or anybody else, where they can say, yeah, let's make this customer happy. We love the fact that people will call or send us an email or talk to us through Facebook or Twitter, and we're so happy with that interaction, that it's made any mistakes or obstacles not really seem like mistakes or obstacles. It's just learning experiences.
And would you say that when you talk to your clients, that you're learning not only about what they prefer, but I think you said something about the cutting edge, because they'll kind of teach you about many times what's coming up.
Yeah. So when we first started off, 2006, soy was very popular and gluten wasn't hated. And now over the last 8 years, both of those are really shifted in the market, and it was because of our customers letting us know what the latest diets that are coming out.
Well, this one is paleo approved, and that's a big one. I've been hearing paleo. So yeah.
So paleo, gluten-free, soy-free, high protein, low sugar, high fiber. These are all things. Acai, antioxidants, greens blends, chia seeds, flax seeds. All of these things have been, have come, and because our customers let us know that, and because we listen, and because we have that conversation, we jump right on it, and it opens us up. And when chia seeds first came out, there were no bars on the market that had chia seeds. So it gave us about a 6-month head start on anybody else in the market to really get a bar out there.
What stores would you find the actual YouBar brand, not somebody that's outsourced you? So where would we find you?
For the YouBar brand, it's actually only you create your own.
Okay, so
That's
you're
the
not
only-
in a, okay,
we
all
don't,
right.
We don't do stores
And
under that brand.
I love that. And then where are you going to be next? Like what what do we call those conferences? They're not conferences, expos. What expos will you be?
We're going to be doing Expo West in Anaheim, which is if anybody gets a chance to go there, it is the most fun environment ever.
Okay, let's go. Expo West.
Expo West.
In Anaheim.
Is it a food show or
It's
business?
a food show. It's a food show.
And when is it?
About 4,500
Vendors?
Vendors. So it's samples as far as the eye can see in every
Oh,
direction.
we're going.
And when is it?
When's the dates?
It's I believe it's March.
Oh, okay, it's
Okay, so
March.
in
Great,
March,
great.
okay.
Yeah.
And your Twitter, follow Anthony on Twitter. Follow us too. But Anthony has how many people on Twitter?
How many Twitter followers?
I think we have about 10,000.
I could.
Twitter,
And how many on Facebook? That was amazing.
I just looked this up. I think it was 8,600,
Amazing.
8,700. So yeah, we've been around for a
But
good amount
and
of
people
time.
are still hearing it. I literally had posted you on my Facebook page last night, and somebody who I barely know, and just getting to know, on Facebook immediately responded and said, "Oh my God, if I could cancel all of my clients for this evening, I would do that because I want to call in and I have questions to ask." And so that was really exciting.
Nice,
People, he knew exactly who you were right away. And I had a lot of people responding saying, "Wow, I know who this guy is. I know who this guy is." So that's exciting.
Talk about that. We should end before we end. We have 1 second. The 30-second Vistaprint commercial.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how people know you.
Yeah. Can you play the
Not only
Vistaprint
because of
commercial? It's
the
great.
wonderful
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial.
We went from my mom's kitchen to an 8,000 square foot facility. I'm Anthony Flynn, and I'm the owner of YouBar.
Millions of business owners like Anthony Flynn use Vistaprint.com to promote their business with everything from business cards to brochures to banners.
I felt like they went around to every small business and said, how can we make this as easy as possible? And they listened. And my sister was like, this card is amazing. You actually look like a professional company now.
Get 500 premium business cards for only $10 at Vistaprint.com.
Fun.
So people know you not only because your great product and your book, but that commercial.
That was a big commercial for us. They definitely aired it a lot.
Oh, I love it. I love Vistaprint.
Yes.
We
love Vistaprint.
We love Vistaprint.
We love Vistaprint.
We would like them to sponsor our show too, because we have so much of their products that with our stuff on it.
We love Vaughn.
And we love Vaughn. Yes, we are getting ready to the end of the show, so I am going to give a shout out again. If you are just catching the end of the show, we're just excited because we have a new sponsor, someone who is dear to us, but also just so well respected in his industry. And his name is Vaughn Saroyans. And yes. Vaughn is a top 1% producer internationally for Coldwell Banker. He specializes in both residential and commercial properties. In addition to being a broker, Vaughn is a real estate attorney, so he's a smarty. And he's been the #1 broker in his office for the last 4 years. And on top of that, he's a super nice guy. And we love him. So if you are looking, or you know someone who is looking for a real estate agent, you can reach Vaughn at area code 323-497-6655. That's 323-497-6655, or at saroyans@aol.com. And that is spelled S as in Sam, AROIA, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, saroyans@aol.com. So check that out, and thank you so very much, Vaughn. We're very excited, and we know that you're going to have a lot of our listeners in new homes.
Yes.
That's what we are hoping for. So great.
They'll be in new homes, and they'll be enjoying YouBars.
Exactly. So gosh, let's see. Who's our guest next week?
Our guest next week, I am going to read it to get this clear. We have actually 2 guests. It will be the first time that we have 2 guests.
Oh, we do have 2 guests next
Yeah,
week.
we
I mean,
have 2
for the same project.
for the same project. And our guest next week, will be the documentary film director Tom Miller, who directed Limited Partnership, and Tony Sullivan. Tony Sullivan and Richard Adams were married in 1975 in Boulder, Colorado, but then the license was ruled invalid. Richard was born in the Philippines but became a naturalized citizen many years ago. Tony, born in Australia, never obtained a green card. The movie that they made and that they'll talk about documents their battles with immigration and being recognized as being legally married, all this way before Prop 8. And this movie has won high praise. So we get Tony, who was in the film. His partner has since passed on, and the director.
And the director. So that's going to be a great show next week. We're really looking forward to that. We are so delighted to have spent this time with Anthony Flynn.
Yes. Yeah,
He's
thank
just
you.
the best. If you
Thank
are
you.
looking for, you can go to youbars.com. That's bars with an S, youbars.com, and build your own bar. You can purchase Anthony's book, Custom Nation, on Amazon.com. You can download it on your Kindle. You can follow him on Twitter. Anything else you want to say to us? You want to leave a guest with anything? We have a couple of other little things we'll do, but is there anything you want to say? Anything? I mean, we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we've covered a lot. I'm just absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. This has been an amazing hour.
Yay, thank you. All right. Well, so follow us on Twitter. Please like us on Facebook. Please put a little comment to let everybody know that you listen to the show. And let's see. Have I missed anything? No. Now we do it's Gratitude Tuesdays.
Gratitude Tuesday. So what are you grateful for, Joanne?
Okay, so every Tuesday we always do what we're grateful for. We always say we close the show with that. I am grateful. Well, I'm grateful for the job that I had last week where I got to meet Captain Phillips and Hillary Rodham Clinton. And I'm not allowed to tell you really where I was, but I work for a specific company. I'm so grateful to you ladies at Details Event Planning for providing me and my friends an opportunity to work, but also to meet incredible speakers that I would never, in any other circumstance, be in the presence of unless they were at Royce Hall, which probably wouldn't even happen because that's where I go to hear lectures. So I'm grateful for my job last week.
And at Royce Hall, you'd be a few thousand feet away.
Yes.
And I am just grateful again for this, what I call a private university that's open to everybody, where we just learned so much. And now I'm just learning so much about customizing, and I realize that there's so much more to learn. And thank you, Anthony.
And Anthony, what are you grateful for?
I would say I'm grateful for my brother right now because he's working on a programming job that I'm so happy I don't have to do. So he's working on some programming
For
back at
YouBars?
the office for our website, and it's going to be really cool when it's done. But he's doing a great job at it.
Well, great. Well, we are, as a whole, grateful to Vaughn Saroyans at Coldwell Banker as our sponsor for this show and the next 3 shows. So somebody out there and buy a house so that he will continue to be our sponsor for the duration of our existence as this show. And that way we can keep the show coming to you because it's sponsors that help the show continue to stay on the air. Yes. And so lastly, we are grateful to you for
We're
listening.
very grateful to you.
Thank you so much.
Remember, you are amazing.
You are amazing. That's
if you
right.
only
If you
knew
only knew who you really were,
you really are.
you would be starstruck. See you next week.
That I am amazing.